Hello, and welcome to Kicking Trees, Canada's premier comic book podcast. Today, we're talking about the biggest mistakes in Marvel and DC history. I'm starting off with a contentious one. It is bringing Jason Todd back to life. What are your thoughts on that?
I have a very similar one.
Okay.
It's Jason Todd being a good guy / close with the Bat family.
Okay, that is a similar one.
Yeah.
So I think the only story of real value that had Jason alive again as Red Hood was Under the Hood, that original story that brought him back.
Yeah.
Most everything after that is just bad. He gets characterized horribly, or Batman abuses him.
I'm mostly okay with all his stories before the New 52.
Because he's a straight up villain in those ones.
Yeah.
Because now, in the New 52, bringing him into an ally of the Bat family, they always regress him back to...
It ruins his character.
It does. He's always like, I'm such a bad boy.
Yeah, but I can't kill around my family, but then I do want to kill, but I can't kill. But then I will. I will if I have to, but I won't.
He's stuck on a loop.
Yeah.
That ends with Batman punching his son.
Yeah. But if he was a straight up bad guy, it's really cool to have a Robin villain.
Like in Grant Morrison's run, where he has a sidekick even.
I liked that.
I liked that a lot. But now they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, and if he was still a villain, he could probably still be doing cool things.
Probably.
Or, if they really didn't want him to be a villain, they have to make him like Punisher, where he's still pretty hated by all the other superheroes, but he's still killing bad guys. Because Punisher doesn't have any superhero friends or anything.
Because then it's always, why isn't he killing supervillains?
Well, why isn't Punisher?
It somehow doesn't bother me that Punisher's not killing supervillains left and right. But
you know what it is with Punisher? Red Hood is way more capable than Punisher.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, because why wouldn't he go and start killing all of Batman's rogues?
Yeah.
The reason could be that he wouldn't not do it because he doesn't want to mess with Batman, though. He would love to mess with Batman.
He would love to.
Yeah, that is tough.
Mm-hmm.
He just has to be a bad guy.
A full bad guy.
Well,
I'm fine with that.
If the Punisher thing doesn't work, then he has to be a bad guy.
Which I am fine with personally, because now...
Because then making him fully good as well makes him pretty useless as well, because we have Damian already and everything.
Exactly. And an issue with the New 52 is he was suddenly just good with the Bat family.
Yeah, at least show a story where they
come to terms with each other and whatever.
Yeah,
but no,
we didn't see any of that.
No, they skip over that entirely. He's just on the team.
Yeah, he's got his issues.
Most of any of his stories, I don't think, are more valuable than when he was dead and having that looming over the entire Bat family. So they talk about that all the time before he came back.
They did, yeah. But if he stayed a villain, it would still be cool to have his death having loomed over and him becoming bad looming over them. Also, that's way cooler Batman lore than Red Hood dying and Jason Todd dying and coming back, and now he's with them.
Because now he's just kind of,
he's just another Robin.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Either way, I'm down. If he stayed dead or if he stayed a bad guy, I'm down for both those options.
Okay, I guess I'm down for both those options as well.
My first one is Ric Grayson.
Okay, and why do you hate Ric Grayson?
Well, they took Dick Grayson and took away his name, first of all.
Yes.
And everything that makes Nightwing cool and fun.
Yes, but they made him a biker, though.
They made him Jason Todd, pretty much.
Did they ever interact when he was Rick?
Not in the Nightwing comic that I can remember.
Okay.
They mostly might have interacted was when they all got together after Alfred died, but I think they were more focused on Alfred.
Did Rick even show up to that?
Rick did. I think maybe Jason didn't, because Jason was on bad terms with them all at the time.
I remember Rick not responding to that voicemail or something.
There was something like that too, but he did show up in that, like, there was an Alfred special where they all came into a building and Rick had a moment talking about Alfred, and then he was like, I didn't really know him, but I can tell something.
Okay.
And I remember it bothered me because I was like, Dick doesn't even get to deal with Alfred's death now. Which Tom Taylor made up for. Yeah. Eventually.
The Ric Grayson thing that bothered me is they really doubled down on it. Because that went over a year.
It was way too long.
How long was it? You know?
I don't know to memory, but I think it was definitely longer than
like minimum 2 years.
Yeah, it was way, way too long.
Which is so long.
Like, fun stuff doesn't last that long sometimes in comics.
No.
And then that lasts that long?
And everyone was so opposed to it.
Not a single fan was out there.
No.
No Ric Grayson fans.
I think they had Scott Lobdell writing it at one point.
He was writing the whole thing.
He wrote the whole thing?
He started it and finished it, yeah.
Oh, I thought Dan Jurgens wrote it for a bit.
Dan Jurgens took over when he became Dick again.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was only Scott Lobdell enjoying Ric Grayson.
So Scott Lobdell wanted to write Red Hood again.
He doesn't understand what makes Dick Grayson a good character, so he had to make him like Jason Todd.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking. I almost put on this list everything Scott Lobdell wrote for DC.
My next DC one is also Scott Lobdell related.
What?
So it's the New 52 as a whole was a mistake?
That's one of mine, is the New 52.
But specifically in the New 52, the Teen Titans.
I almost put that.
So when the New 52 relaunched, they wanted to get rid of all legacy in the DC universe, except for Batman. So then...
For stupid reasons.
Yeah. So Batman didn't get reset at all, really. So they had Tim Drake still as Red Robin, but he was never actually Robin in the New 52. He just went straight to Red Robin, and he was in Witness Protection Program, so Tim Drake wasn't his real name. And the Teen Titans he formed was the first Teen Titans, and then Scott Lobdell had free reign on all their origins. You know, it was a new universe, so he went at it, but it was all bad, is the thing.
It's because he thinks like a 10-year-old.
Yes. So Cassie was a kleptomaniac, and she didn't really have ties to Wonder Woman, I believe. Connor Kent he wasn't a clone of Superman. He was a clone of John Kent from an evil future or something. And then Kid Flash was a rebel from the future, but he was also a bomber.
Why do you have to make them all like criminals?
I don't know. But that's what he did.
Yeah. And that did serious damage to the Teen Titans for a long time.
It did. And now they brought back the pre-52 Connor Kent, because he was trapped in Gemworld, they revealed, so he wasn't affected by the New 52, which that is sketchy reasoning.
So what happened to the New 52 Superboy then?
I don't know.
Okay.
But Gemworld got a relaunch in the New 52 as well.
Yeah, that is sketchy.
So Gemworld got affected, but Superboy within Gemworld did not get affected.
We kind of just don't know what happened to any of those Teen Titans then. They just changed into what they should be again one day.
Yes. The Bart that we follow is also the pre-52 Bart, because it was revealed he was in the Speed Force, and then he escaped the Speed Force. So the New 52 one is a completely separate character.
Okay. And he's just gone now, too.
He went back to his future, presumably.
Oh, okay. And Cassie being a kleptomaniac.
That is still the same Cassie and still the same Tim.
It can't be the same Tim.
It's the same Tim.
Tim's his actual name now. He was in Witness Protection. That wasn't his real name in that Teen Titans.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. This is why it was one of the dumbest decisions.
So now Cassie and Tim were hanging out with two guys that were pretending to be their best friends, and then their best friends returned, and they never questioned it.
They don't talk about it.
No, they don't. But I am intrigued.
They don't want Connor and Bart to get jealous about all the good times they had with the other versions of Connor and Bart, so they just don't talk about it.
I think they should bring those New 52 versions back as just villains.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Just say whatevs with them.
The Titans of Doom.
Sure.
I agree with you. That's a great choice for this list here. My next one, I'm going to skip the New 52 in general because we kind of are just shitting on the New 52.
Okay,
I'll talk about it a bit. Like, wanting to restart everything was a horrible idea.
Their thinking was it worked when they did the first Crisis, the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
And it did get them a resurgence in sales, but it was short-sighted because there was a ton of drop-off as well.
Because they were going to lose their long-time fans.
Yes, and now when, like in New History of the DC Universe, there's only like 3 New 52 runs that get mentioned, and it's Batman, Justice League, and I think that was actually it.
Because what else are you going to mention?
Yeah, because none of the other stuff's really canon anymore. I guess the...
Court of Owls made it.
Made canon?
Like, yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, the Batman stuff is still all canon.
Yeah.
The Justice League stuff is still canon, kind of, but none of the other New 52 stories really get mentioned.
Yeah.
When Rebirth happened, that first Wonder Woman story, because at the end of New 52, Wonder Woman was the god of war. She took over for Ares. And then in the first issue of Wonder Woman Rebirth, she crushes that helmet. She's like, it was all a lie. None of that happened. Crazy stuff.
She woke up from a dream.
Yeah. It's like, okay, sure.
Okay, I did not know that. That's funny.
Yeah, and then doing it like a half reboot, I think, was also an issue that they never recovered from.
Yeah, because there's so much history behind them that you need to tell, but you can't tell.
Yeah, and no writer knew what was and wasn't canon anymore.
Yeah, that was an issue because there was inconsistencies all the time at that time.
They would mention something and then someone else would mention something that would contradict it.
Mm-hmm. Another big issue with the New 52 was what it did to Wally West. He was just gone for so long. No sight of him. He was replaced by Wallace West, who isn't the same guy at all.
But within the New 52, he was the same guy.
Yeah, but like as a character, he's not the same guy.
No.
And then they had to do some crazy work to bring back Wally, like the real Wally.
It was some crazy work.
It was, yeah.
It was insane. They had to change the New 52 when he goes by Ace now, so he's not Wally.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. My next one is in the Tom King run of Batman, not letting Batman and Catwoman get married.
So I do also agree with that one. Because at some point with these superheroes in their 40s and like late 30s, mid 40s, if they don't have like any form of stable relationship, it's just kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it is. And they want to keep them suffering at all times, but like they have to have something.
Exactly. Other heroes are married and they flourish under their marriage stories.
Yeah, they should be like Superman and Lois Lane by now.
They should, because also no one's reading Batman for his romance subplots.
Exactly the same case as just like Superman. That's why they can have him with Lois Lane. No one cares if Batman's dating around or anything.
No, because he's too old for that.
Yeah, and him and Catwoman are the most popular pairing for Batman, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
So why aren't they doing it? Also, they can still both have their ongoing series.
Because they don't need to be together all the time.
Yeah, they're not like a clingy couple or anything.
No, they have adventures.
Yeah, and they can just visit each other sometimes.
Yep, and that all works out.
It would be completely fine. Just let them be married. And now Batman's dating that woman in Detective Comics that I don't know her deal.
She turned out to be a villain that was killing people or something. But in the newest issue of Batman is interested in that doctor lady that talked to him about Killer Croc.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she's also evil. He's having a tough go of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Catwoman is evil too, but...
Catwoman's not evil.
Yeah, she's not evil. She just steals.
Yeah. Any non-violent crime is a sexy crime.
Yeah. Also, for Catwoman, I don't even want to see Catwoman dating around that much. That's not a thing I'm looking for in her character.
No, because people assume that because of how she dresses that she's loose with men, but she's typically not.
No, she's not.
No.
She dates people, sure, but she's not crazy about it or anything.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a big mistake.
It is.
Still currently ongoing.
Oh, and they never had like a definitive breakup either, because at the beginning of Chip Zdarsky's run, they were still kind of together. It was.
Oh my God, that's right. They were, because James Tynion just had them still be married but separate.
Yeah.
So James Tynion had the right idea.
Yeah, he had them like basically still together.
Yeah.
And everything.
And then Chip Zdarsky's run had to start with him saying that he can't be with her and be Batman.
They were on a break or something.
Which Tom King had spent his entire run saying, no. He's working through it. He can be with Catwoman and be Batman.
Yes.
But then 2 runs happened and that got erased, I guess.
But then the Chip Zdarsky one had them going on that team-up mission as well.
Yes.
Where they were bonding.
Yeah. So they're not on horrible terms, but they're not together.
It's just such a mess.
It is. It's annoying.
My next one is bringing back Barry Allen.
I almost put that too.
So Barry Allen, he did usher in the Silver Age. He was in the story that introduced the DC multiverse, but he sucks.
Also, he just brings nothing to the table.
He doesn't. Everything you attribute to Flash comes from Wally. Like the Speed Force, that comes from Wally. Barry, I believe, didn't even have a comic when Crisis on Infinite Earths was coming out, which is why they felt so safe to kill him off, because the Flash was floundering in sales. Now, people lump in Hal with Barry as both being boring, but classic Hal has plenty of personality. Barry is just straight up boring, and any Flash story you want to do is better if you have it be Wally.
That's true. Also, having Jay Garrick still alive and Barry not alive, I think is interesting as well.
That's a good dynamic.
Yeah, it is.
And then having him be dead has something for the heroes to reflect on and everything, and a legacy to live up to, but now that he's alive, he doesn't progress at all.
They even got rid of him right now. They made sure he's not around right now.
Because they're course correcting.
Yeah, but he's not dead.
He's just depowered.
Yeah. It's a shame. Because, keeping some characters dead would be pretty interesting.
It would.
But they just can't do that.
And even though they're not using them.
Yeah, and some characters I don't want to stay dead. I like reviving some characters, but some just have to stay dead or should stay dead. My next one is less of a everyone's opinion one.
Okay.
It's when Tim Drake became Batman Beyond. Like, I'm sure I'm not, it's not controversial or anything.
That's just fresh on your mind right now.
Yeah, it is. And it just doesn't come up when people think of the dumbest things ever. But it was one of the dumbest things ever.
Did you read Future's End? Maybe it was really good.
I started Future's End and it wasn't really good, so that's why I didn't finish it.
Dang.
And then it ends and starts off this Tim Drake Batman Beyond nonsense.
An additional funny thing with that is that that's an adult Tim Drake as Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
He's like 20-something.
Yeah, it's like none of the charm of Batman Beyond.
No.
And also, if Terry dies, like if they want to kill Terry to do some interesting stuff, have a Batman Beyond character take over for him, not Tim Drake.
Do you remember how that all shook out? So Future's End brought us to a bad future of DC. What caused the bad future? Was it Brother Eye or something?
Yeah.
It was Brother Eye?
Well, Brother Eye had a large part of it. I don't
Okay.
know if they caused it or I don't know.
There was a bad future. Terry McGinnis was Batman Beyond in this apocalyptic future. And then he gets sent back in time to try and prevent it. And then where he gets sent is 5 years or so into the future of the new 52 timeline. So everyone's a bit older. And then at the end of that story, Terry McGinnis dies. Tim Drake takes his costume, goes back to the future. Or does he stay in the 5 years in the future? No, he doesn't.
No, he goes to like normal Batman Beyond time. And then also in the run after Tim Drake, when Terry is back, Matt, Terry's little brother, becomes Robin, which I love. That was a great idea.
Yeah, that's some fun stuff.
But if they're going to do that, like why not have Matt sort of take over when Terry was dead or something? Or just any other Batman Beyond character.
Well,
I would have been cool with.
Matt wouldn't have been alive in the bad future.
But if he goes back to the Terry timeline...
Does Tim give his suit to Terry in that? How does that work? Is it just a normal Terry?
Like when Terry comes back?
Yeah, because he just goes to a future. He goes back to the future, but the future's corrected now because he prevented Future's End.
Yeah.
So then Terry presumably never died. So that's the Terry that it follows later. Does he give Terry that suit?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't know what happened either. I just know that Tim Drake drove his motorcycle and then disappeared.
Also, this is something that this is happening when they don't know what to do with Tim Drake half the time.
Yeah.
They throw him into Batman Beyond and instead do something with actual Tim Drake.
At this time, he was the leader of the Teen Titans, I believe.
In Rebirth? That was Damian.
Tim was
it
Batman
even
Beyond at the Rebirth? I think Rebirth when Terry came back, wasn't it?
No, it was, wasn't it? When was this happening?
This was happening after Future's End. Slightly before Rebirth, I believe.
Oh, but that was just an awful comic that Tim was in.
Yeah.
He was just in 2 awful comics.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's horrible.
That's how he rolls.
Yeah, okay.
So my next one is, with Spider-Man getting rid of his marriage to Mary Jane, obviously a bad idea. But before that, they revealed in the story that Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy actually had sex when she was away in Paris at one point.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
I don't know.
What does that add to anything?
It adds nothing to nothing. It just adds some trauma to Peter, I guess, to think and feel real bad.
Yeah, just some grossness.
Yeah.
Because how old is Norman compared? How old was Gwen Stacy when she died? Was she in...
They were in college,
Okay.
so she would have been like 19 to 22, I guess.
And Norman Osborn's like 30-something at that time?
No, he would have been older because Harry and Gwen would have been around the same age.
Oh, that's right. What a creep.
Norman slept with his son's friend.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah.
And now that's just not mentioned, because why would it be mentioned?
And then they had Gwen Stacy give birth to twins that aged faster, and then that was Grey Goblin and someone else. But originally they wanted those kids to be Peter's kids. And then editorial and everyone was like, that would age up Spider-Man a ton. Even though they grew up fast, I guess like in a metaphorical aging up, having 2 adult children.
So they're like, it's a much better idea to have them be Norman Osborn's children.
That was their thing. But that got undone. This was retconned away.
That got completely undone?
Yeah.
That's good.
Are you in for a doozy?
Okay.
Now I may get this wrong. Let me know if I get this wrong. I don't remember how it shook out. I was very confused. Okay, so there was an AI of Harry Osborn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this AI of Harry Osborn was Kindred, I believe. And then this AI of Harry Osborn paid Mysterio to then trick Norman somehow into thinking he had sex with Gwen Stacy.
Okay.
They don't elaborate on how he tricked Norman. He just did.
Did the AI have a body to have sex with Norman Osborn?
No, but Mysterio does.
Wait, so Mysterio... So he could have just been having sex with like a fog.
Or Mysterio.
I guess if Mysterio wanted it to feel accurate, he would have thrown himself in there, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how they resolved that. And then I don't remember...
What's the purpose of making Norman Osborn think that?
For Kindred's plans?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
I can't think of a single plan I would have where I need Norman Osborn to think he slept with Gwen Stacy.
It was probably to hurt Peter Parker. Then Norman believes it, and then it gets revealed to Peter that this supposedly happened, and then he gets hurt real bad.
Okay. At least it's undone.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Yeah. My next one is from Marvel. It's pretty recent. Getting rid of Krakoa completely.
See, Jonathan Hickman always planned to get rid of Krakoa.
Yeah.
I think that was what he said his plan was.
Yeah.
So I think it was dumb that they booted him from the X-Men stuff to then flounder for like 2 years and then end Krakoa.
Because if they let it end, Jonathan Hickman probably had a really good plan on how it would end.
Yeah, and he knows that it's a forever story, and he probably had a setup in mind for the next era for after he left.
Yeah.
But instead they went with a bunch of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, and then now after when they got rid of Krakoa, they don't know what they're doing with
No,
the
they're all
X-Men right
floundering now.
Yeah.
But I think if they kept with to Jonathan Hickman's plan, that would have been really good. And
I also just don't like that it's I would have appreciated if the island was just, they don't have to be fully on it and doing everything as a nation and everything, but if the island was still around and it was a good place for mutants to go still.
Yeah, even have just like a group of mutants defect from Krakoa. You could have had both easily,
yeah,
I feel.
But there's still a community there.
Yeah.
And it was a great status quo for them to have a place to go like that.
A place to feel safe.
Yeah, because
that is,
now they're exactly like back to where they started so long ago.
And that is tiresome.
It is, but adding Krakoa to any story just helps the mutants along a bit.
It does. I quite enjoy the Krakoan age.
Me too. Mine is sort of related to Krakoa again, my next one.
Okay.
It's Ms. Marvel being a mutant. And her death in Amazing Spider-Man as well.
Yes. So everyone blames Zeb Wells for that, but that definitely came from higher up.
Absolutely, because the Ms. Marvel show
exactly
came out and she was a mutant in it.
It's not like he was writing Spider-Man thinking, I'm going to make her a mutant now. No, that came from
He definitely had to do that.
Yeah, because it was also barely in the Spider-Man book.
Yeah.
It was like one issue.
She was just thrown in there to die.
Yeah, so it definitely came from like the top of Disney or something weird.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige, probably.
Yeah, let's blame him.
Yeah, Kevin Feige. And now Ms. Marvel's ruined. She was floundering before that, but now she's extra floundering.
Because if she's in the Inhumans, it's easy to still be a star with all the Inhumans around, because who's going to steal your spotlight?
Exactly.
But with the rest of the mutants fall to the background so easily.
They do.
Because of all the main X-Men.
Yeah.
And now she's, well, NYX, I guess, is still going, right? But
is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, now she's gone.
Yes, she is.
And who knows when she'll be back.
I think they should just throw her on the Avengers and keep her as a reoccurring Avenger. Like, make that an editorial mandate to every Avengers writer that she has to be on there.
Just to keep her relevant?
Yes.
What about the Champions?
No. The Champions, they don't work.
New idea right now that I just thought of.
Okay.
Similar to the Uncanny Avengers when they're the Unity Squad, she's a Unity Squad for mutants and Inhumans, and they do a team of partially Inhumans, partially X-Men.
So Uncanny Avengers by Jerry Dugan did have Inhumans on it.
That doesn't stop this plan from happening.
I guess not. So she's doing a Unity Squad?
Yeah.
Is she leading it?
Because I bet they still hate each other.
Probably.
So she's trying to unite her two people.
I think she should just always be the junior member point of view character on the Avengers book.
She can only be the junior member for so long until it's like, how are you still a junior point of view?
But they're keeping her as a teenager still.
Yeah.
It's not like they're aging her up. And she's a perfect point of view character because she's a fangirl.
Yeah, she is.
And they had Kitty as the point of view character on the X-Men for like 20 years.
That's true. That could work.
Mm-hmm.
When Marvel got rid of the Fantastic Four, when they were like having a little fight with Fox. I understand they were fighting with Fox. And I understand they wanted the Fantastic Four back and were kind of like boycotting them a bit. But they still, they have their comic books still. They can still do cool stuff with them in the comics.
Yeah, it's so weird and petty and then also doesn't really affect Fox.
Yeah, like what did that do for that? Like, if they still kept the comic going, they would still have eventually gotten them back like they have now.
Yeah, and then also like what are these new comics doing to Fox? Like is Fox could adapt them, but it's not like they would.
Yeah, it was such a petty and dumb idea.
It's not like any of the Fantastic Four movies adapted a comic aside from Galactus.
Yeah, and it's just disrespectful that such an iconic team of theirs.
Their first family.
Yeah, to fully just cut them off.
That's the birth of the Marvel Universe, is the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and how long were they gone? That was years.
I want to say they were gone for like 2 or 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is pretty crazy.
Reed and Sue were just missing for that long.
But then they came back with the kids aged up, and I did like that.
I liked that too.
Yeah.
But that also could have happened in a Fantastic Four story where they go off in space somewhere and they come back and they're aged up.
Like follow them as they age up even.
Even that too, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good as well.
Yeah.
Well.
Instead of just disappearing for a while.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. It's still a shame. And my last one is the existence of Civil War 2.
So all your Marvel ones basically are corporate synergy related.
Are they? Getting rid of Krakoa?
Okay, not that one.
But the rest,
the rest are.
Well, that really messes with their comics.
It does. They do too much corporate synergy because
Civil War 2 absolutely only existed because the movie Civil War was coming out.
Yeah, and then because they have to retread these things for the movie adaptations, it kind of regresses things in universe.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan of Ulysses from Civil War 2?
I don't know a single fan of Ulysses from Civil War 2.
Oh my word.
I'll give you $100 if you find me one.
Did you see Bendis is coming back to Marvel?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think of that?
That's a little funny.
I think that's pretty funny.
Because DC was so excited to get him, and then he did such horrible work there.
Yes.
And they're like, you can go, actually.
I think he needs to retire, personally.
He probably should. He can't write a good comic anymore. Unless he's going to come back to Marvel and just blow us away. What's he doing back at Marvel? Is it for the Marvel Knight stuff? That's what I saw. It wasn't for sure. That's just the
He has a confirmed backup story in Avengers 800.
That's weird.
Well, maybe it'll be during the new Avengers era.
I would love that.
If it's a backup story, they cover different eras. I don't know what they're doing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I don't know. Maybe he'll shock us and he'll be amazing.
I don't think he will.
That's why it'll be a shock.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening. You're right. And yeah, Civil War 2. We didn't even talk about it.
So for Civil War 2 to work, they had to make Captain Marvel Carol just like pretty evil kind of, which I feel they didn't have to considering it was Hydra Cap on that team.
They could have done Captain America and Iron Man again.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been an issue even.
I think they did want to change it up just a tiny bit instead of the exact same fight again.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I think they did Captain Marvel. I don't actually know. But it was just like, they weren't even ready to make that story happen. Like, there was no plan for it, obviously. It was just like, guys, we got to write a Civil War comic now. And then it happened.
And then it had no fallout.
No.
Which, the more memorable part of the original Civil War is the fallout afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how much it actually affected the Avengers and the new Avengers after. Yeah. But Civil War II was over, and then no one even talked about it, except I guess Iron Man being a hologram after was a fallout, but
Oh, yeah.
not really touched upon too much. He was just still around as a hologram instead.
And that's when we got infamous Iron Man, right?
Is it? It might be, yeah.
I think it is. And then Iron Man was still a hologram during Secret Empire.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there we go.
At that time, Captain America was a Hydra agent, Iron Man was a hologram / Doctor Doom, and Thor was Jane Foster and unworthy of the hammer.
What a crazy time.
Yeah, wow. And those could have been some cool things, but not really. They were all kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, they
in my
weren't
opinion.
executed too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. So this has been episode 25 of Kicking Trees, talking about what we think are the worst decisions in comic history. I'm Carter,
I'm Xander.
and we'll catch you next week.